So basically, the mayor, I guess, is setting you all up to lie to her and not make referrals to her because I guess she is the top cop. And when you're faced with my situation, and I tell you I'm a domestic violence, and that encompasses my history from childhood to adulthood to Chad to Sweeney to whatever, because it's all my relatives who pimped me out, and Cronin and Sweeney. And Sweeney was a nurse who probably taught my Aunt Mary, Meredith's mother, in nursing school. And they had a whole bunch of the same friends. So they're all part of the same criminal organization with the Weinbergers and the Goldwaters and Dragon and so on and so forth. So when I tell you I'm homeless due to domestic violence by my relatives and ex-boyfriends and employers, powerful government friends, including the Weinbergers, and police and other Vermont state officials, you don't get to go, oh, well, let's just focus on getting you housing. No, you're supposed to notify the mayor of those federal violations immediately and let her make the appropriate referrals. You're not supposed to just, oh, well, you can talk to McAfee, who you know isn't going to do shit. When I told that, when they came out and served me with that no trespass and served me with that bullshit, what was it? Restraining order. And I'm on record telling you what's really going on, and you didn't immediately notify the mayor and let her make the right referrals, you fucked up. No, you kept going with the lie. And she let you take it to the next level. That means she wants your ass on a motherfucking silver platter. No fucking way it was a coincidence she was coming out of her office at the exact same time that elevator hit the third floor. And she did her job. She listened very carefully, and she handled it perfectly. She said, Miss Moore, I'm not going to make you repeat all that all over again. And then she got her staff out there, and I don't remember the staffer's name, and I forgot to ask pronouns. I'm just going to say they, them for now. And just out of respect, very sweet-spirited, well-meaning soul, handled it the best she possibly could, because I couldn't understand what the hell was going on. I was too upset. And that's the problem with savant syndrome. You relive everything all over again. So that's another reason why you got to have secure comms. Because in those secure comms, somebody's got to make a reasonable accommodation for my special needs. Because I have no problem assisting in your investigation, but I need to understand exactly what you need me to do. Which, eventually I figure it out because I see the pattern. Oh, I'm still exhausted. Extremely exhausted. So, if I go to the shelter tonight and I say I'm homeless because of domestic violence, as a trafficking victim of the criminal enterprise that's making the news over Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, you're supposed to, I guess because it's going to be after 5 o'clock, you just send the mayor an email. Especially since there's an ongoing federal investigation by Hochul. But you probably don't have to contact, state police and Cousy. You just contact the mayor and let her make the right referrals. Because I promise you, those two officers that arrested me, I promise you, they told the mayor the truth. And they told them who lied to them and didn't do the job. And that little heifer that didn't make the proper referral to the mayor, that lied to the mayor in the first place when she came down with that no trespass with the ranger and whatever. Well, you could call McAfee. Already did that. I've been waiting on her to call me back for years. No, once I told you all that, and Sarah George's office, and hell, everybody was listening because there's surveillance on my phone. You weren't supposed to refer me to McAfee as my victim's advocate. You were supposed to make the referral to the mayor so the mayor could make the proper referrals to whoever. That's why I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of detail. I'm just going to say this has been going on since childhood. I have my cousin threatening me and trying to help steer me this way and steer me that way. And she's doing the same crap that your little snitches who were impersonating victims advocates from Sarah George's office and Bernie Sanders' office. That's why you lied, which is another thing I need to note for the record for everyone. They didn't lie and say they worked for McAfee because I wouldn't have trusted them. They know I know who McAfee is. She sent me her fucking business card. Once I filed that restraining order against Paul Dragon, and they apparently sent it over to her, Judge Hoare had his staff refer it to her. He should have referred it to Cousy or the state police or Governor Hochul or whoever. No, he sent it over to McAfee because he knew McAfee would cover his ass. So that's why when they're lying, saying they work for Sarah George and they're acting like victims advocates, buying me shit off my wish list that isn't even public, offering me cash and food and oh, somebody gave us some gift cards, we're going to take you shopping. Like they were impersonating victim, dropping Sarah George's name and Bernie. That's why anyway, I'm making a point that they know that I know McAfee is corrupt. And that's why they didn't say, well, we work for McAfee. They know I wouldn't have told them shit. I'd have reported them immediately. Cryptology 101. There you go, folks. And don't forget, you hired one of your snitches to go set fire to Bernie Sanders' office. So it's kind of tied to that, too. So she's already working with the federal investigation, though. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know whether Hochul's people handled it. I don't know. Trump will just give him a pardon. But I don't think they're going to let Trump control this. And I think, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but Bernie and everybody saying, oh, we got to sweep the midterms because we got to wait. We can't do anything to Trump until we control the House and the Senate. I think he knows better than that. They released a bio. The Weinbergers, or maybe not Miro, but it's still military elite involved in these crimes. And that means other military specialists can deal with it. They don't have to wait for Congress. I think that's Bernie pretending to not know that, or anybody, not just him. A lot of people are talking about it, but even Ro Khanna already signaled that no, we don't have to wait for that. We can have the sergeant at arms arrest Pam Bondi. And trust me, she'll roll on everybody. They can arrest her, interview her, and say, you ain't going nowhere until you tell us what the fuck's really going on. But the military can certainly deal with the commander-in-chief and Keg's Breath and Cash Patel and whatever, any way they want. They don't. So that's Bernie pretended not to know better. So I will. I'll look up that winter emergency shelter and see who's running it. Probably CVOYO. So that email that I'm going to send to McAfee, I'm also going to CC it to the mayor's office, the Sarah George's office, Bernie, Becca Ballant, since they're on oversight. And I'm going to see, and I'll CC it to CVOYO too, since that they're really supposed to refer it over to the mayor as well, and they didn't. I'll see. I'm pretty. I don't know. I may be wrong. I'm going to have to look up the winter emergency shelter, and this kid's really trying to push me to go there. And he was doing other shit that was real sus. Real sus. I'm not going to get into it here. And I think they're already on to him because he tried to steer me to some little, like, cubbyhole space that's like kind of secluded, and it was off the street where maybe there wasn't a lot of, it would be hard, maybe there was no flock cameras or whatever, or other security cameras that would have seen anything. So if I were back there sleeping, they could have had somebody shoot me, and it may not have, I don't know. I don't know what. But I didn't, and then when Essex PD came to talk to me about when I was asking for blankets, or they know where I could get blankets or whatever, she sent the officers to talk to me in person, because they told me wherever crash, they're like, go up to that bus stop shelter. I guess it's across from, I don't know what that gas station is, but it's basically in front of Planet Fitness on the other side of the street, across the street from Kenny Drugs and that bank. He said, don't go someplace off the street where we can't keep an eye on you. Like, how did he know that? And I'm like, they got surveillance on that kid's phone already, and I didn't let him know that I understood that somebody had steered me that way, but I think he already knew somebody was going to steer me that way, and he was letting me know, don't let them steer you that way. So I put my tent behind the McDonald's, that they have a big fenced-in thing with their dumpster in it, and it's behind there, between the dumpster and the train tracks. And the people who work here, at least a couple of the supervisors, they've known me for years. And I let her know this morning. I said, it's my tent that's back there. She didn't care. She said, if I had room and didn't have, kids, I'd let you sleep on my couch. But I'm like, no, I'm not trying to get you to do anything. I'm just letting you know, out of a courtesy, that's my tent back there. And she's been here so many years, she'll let everybody know, don't call police on her. But I'm pretty sure there's security cameras that you all can tap into to keep an eye on. And y'all got, I don't even know what the fuck y'all got for real-time surveillance, whatever it is. It's a relief to know that I don't have to, that I'm not responsible for trying to record and video record and everything in real time to back up my whatever I say. So anyway, all y'all need to be real worried. Real worried. Because they know that I'm respectfully But I'm making sure everybody understands that I don't just need housing. Because there's so many, because of the illegal surveillance on my phone and so much tampering, witness tampering, victim tampering, and evidence tampering, and potential for collateral damage. They know I'm not going to go into that shelter and not mention the fact that I'm a trafficking victim on the run and being targeted by the criminal enterprise that runs the fucking police station and apparently the municipal prosecutor and city parks and DHS protective services. I can't think of anything else. I do need to do laundry. I stink to high heaven. Oh, by the way, for those of you at the mayor's office, I'm sure there was this really horrible smell that wasn't just BO. There's a really putrid smell, and that's from all the infection, because I'm a MRSA carrier from the Pfizer, Neurontin, gabapentin crap. Cancer causes infection, and they have let me rot from the inside out. In fact, many patients and very ugly staff at ECMC in Buffalo complained about it nonstop. I mean, they were nasty about it, especially from the uterine cancer. When I say that my genitals are being mutilated, that's what I mean. When they're not getting me hospitalized and on IV antibiotics for weeks on end and whatever else I need, they're letting the infection just fester and fester. And it's very similar to situations where, I guess like the movie $1 Million Baby. She was bedridden and she had bed sores and it stunk. That doesn't go away with showers. And that's really what they're trying to really cover up and what they really don't want going. Not that I'm going to let photos be released, but there could certainly be a diagram and description. I'm just a living, breathing Native American female version of Emmett Till. And I want to be able to release as much to the public as possible. I want them to know, everybody, Republican, Democrat, Independent, Libertarian, to know what they're capable of doing. And how they're going to blame that on my father, I don't know, because he's not a doctor.